After the long New England winter, it is finally here. Opening day from Fenway Park as the fans make their way in. The most special day of the year. Welcome inside Fenway Park, where the Red Sox welcome the Washington Nationals. Welcome inside the broadcast booth, everybody. I'm Don Orsillo, as always, joined by Jerry Remy. Welcome to Red Sox baseball. Well, Jerry, it doesn't get any better than this.
This is special today. It always is, the home opener. Even though the Red Sox have played some games and done very well in those games, you get nervous again for that home opener because it's the first time you're playing in front of the home crowd and you want to make a good impression. So, you know, the Red Sox, the nerves kind of go away on that first road trip, but they return for this game today. But it's great. I mean, after the winter everybody has been through around here, to get a special day like this and a beautiful day like this, let's play some baseball.
Red Sox are ready to go. They welcome a good Nationals team that's got very good pitching. The Red Sox and the Washington Nationals. The first pitch is coming your way next from Fenway Park. By Choose Nissan today for great offers on our most exciting lineup ever. Shop ChooseNissan.com. Dunkin' Donuts, America runs on Dunkin'. Toyota's website for deals via Toyota.com. DraftKings, your local Subaru dealers. And by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at Southwest.com. Welcome back to Fenway Park on opening day, and what a beautiful day it is. Not a cloud in the sky, and very warm conditions here as the weather is brought to you by Benjamin Moore. 69 degrees as the wind out to center field at 17 miles per hour, and the forecast for more the same as the day goes on as the Red Sox return home after taking 2 out of 3 from the Philadelphia Phillies and 2 out of 3 from the New York Yankees. Rick Porcello leading the Red Sox onto the field on this opening day. As he does, let's check out the visiting Washington Nationals lineup. It is brought to you by Chevy. Michael Taylor leading it off and in center field with Escobar at third base. It is Bryce Harper in right field. Jason Worth in left field with Ryan Zimmerman at first base. Clint Robinson is the DH with Ian Desmond at shortstop. Jose Lobaton does the catching, bats eighth, and Danny Espinoza is at second base batting ninth. Red Sox starting pitcher presented by your local New England Audi dealers. Experience the all-new Audi A3 today. Now on the mound, Rick Porcello. His numbers last year with the Tigers. 32 appearances, 31 starts, 15 and 13. Pitched up over 200 innings at 204 and 2/3. Had 129 Ks in those innings and 268 average by the opponent last year. Last time out, the 3-run home run by Jeff Francoeur, the only blemish. So he goes 6 innings, giving up 3 runs. Struck out 4 along the way.
The Red Sox defense is 11th in the league with 5 errors in 6 games. Pablo Sandoval will be at third base. Xander Bogaerts the shortstop. Dustin Pedroia at second. Mike Napoli the first baseman. Left to right, Hanley Ramirez, Mookie Betts, and Shane Victorino, and Sandy Leon doing the catching for Porcello.
Now the umpiring crew, Manny Gonzalez has a play with the crew chief Jim Reynolds at first base, Paul Schreiber at second base, and Clint Fagan is the umpire at third. And ready to get it started here for the Nationals. Michael Taylor leading it off here. 240, a home run, and 3 runs batted in. 6 for 25 to begin the season for the center fielder and leadoff hitter for the Nationals. Outfield straight away on this beautiful opening day, and the first pitch of the ball game is in there for strike 1, and we are underway. Rick Porcello coming in at 0-1 into this outing today. Jumps ahead 0-2.
For those who did not see Porcello in his first start, he's a sinker ball pitcher, should get a lot of ground ball outs. He'll feature the slider, the curveball, and the changeup.
Taylor gets a piece to stay alive. We'll do it again, 0-2.
First time he has ever faced the Washington Nationals.
And now Escobar, the Red Sox have certainly seen a lot of, waiting on deck. Off the end of the bat, foul. Now John Farrell's team, a tough night last night in New York, especially for Clay Buchholz, as they dropped the finale. But the Red Sox took the first 2 games of that series against the Yankees and returned home 4-2 on the year. Pitch high, and it is 1-2.
This is going to be a very tough series for the Red Sox facing the Nationals. The Nationals got tremendous pitching, and they've been pitching great early in the season. Their offense had a little trouble getting started.
That has been an Achilles heel for him so far, as a swing and a miss, and Taylor strikes out. Porcello with a strikeout for the first Nationals batter of the day.
Well, the first strike for Porcello coming on the changeup. A good one, too. Knee high, drops to about ankle high, and gets the swing and miss. That's already the 11th time this year that Taylor has struck out.
One down for Yunel Escobar. Escobar at 304, no homers and no runs batted in. Acquired from the Oakland A's, and he'll send one foul down the right field line, out of play. Red Sox certainly saw a lot of Escobar between Toronto and Tampa Bay. Last year, in what worked out to be his final year in Tampa Bay, Escobar playing 137 games at .258. And this one kind of jammed him, and he flips it out to short right field. Pedroia will run it down, but Escobar aboard with a 1-out single.
That's a 2-seam fastball that really got back in the hands of Escobar, but he's able to just muscle it out up over the head of Napoli and to the left of Pedroia. It's a good pitch by Porcello, as it really ran in, but pretty good hitting also by Escobar.
So 1 out, 1 on, and Bryce Harper the batter. 6 for 23 out of the gate for Harper. 2 homers, 2 runs batted in. That's third in the Nationals order. High fly ball to right field, sending Victorino back towards the track. It carries well. Betts leaps and makes the catch in deep right field. Mookie Betts elevates and makes the grab. Robs Harper of a home run.
Well, that ball went in the air. I thought it was going to have to be Shane Victorino to make the play, but Mookie Betts very quickly got into the pitcher and takes away a home run. A high fastball that time, and watch Betts right back to the wall, leaping, crashing into it. Tremendous play by Betts. What an athlete.
Rick Porcello loved it, as you might imagine. So 2 down now in the first. A little help from the center fielder. And here is Jason Worth, who returns to the Nationals today. He's been on a rehab this last week, but ready to go. Returned from the rehab, reinstated after undergoing right AC joint surgery on January the 9th. And he takes the strike, 1-1.
Now they got a couple of guys here missing out of their starting lineup, but Worth returning, as you mentioned today. Long rehab for him, and very, very important to this National lineup.
In 4 seasons with the Nationals, he's hit a .282. You date back to 2012, and he ranks 6th in Major League Baseball, the .394 on base percentage. Two-one pitch. And that's in there for strike 2.
By the way, that was very good base running too by Escobar. He tagged up at first base on the catch that Betts made. It was either going to be a home run or caught, so we tagged up and got in a scoring position with 2 outs.
Headed towards third as Escobar, as Worth strikes out. Porcello gets him. 2 Ks in the inning. Oh, what a catch by Mookie Betts in center field. Mookie Betts, great catch out there in center field. Today's National starting pitcher is presented by New England Nissan dealers. Jordan Zimmermann, 32 starts last year, 14-5 with a 2.66 earned run average, just shy of 200 innings. And it's Mookie Betts who leads it off here in the bottom of the first inning. More on Jordan Zimmermann. His last start against the Mets was a win, 6 innings, giving up 1 run.
He'll come right after you too with that fastball. 90 plus.
He has faced the Red Sox twice, 1-0 with a 2.57 earned run average. It's former Red Sox teams. 13 Ks, only 3 walks against Boston. He outdueled John Smoltz back on June 25th of 2009. an all-star for the second time last year. Finished 5th in the NL Cy Young Award voting. The 2.66 ERA is that fastball rides up and in for ball 4, and Betts down to first base. Now today's Red Sox starting lineup is brought to you by your Eastern Hyundai dealers. Mookie Betts we just saw in center field. Dustin Pedroia bats second at second base with David Ortiz, the DH. Hanley Ramirez in left field with Pablo Sandoval at third base. Mike Napoli at first base with Shane Victorino in right. Xander Bogaerts at shortstop, and Sandy Leon does the catching and bats ninth. There is Pedroia. Dustin 6 for 29 to begin the year. Hitting at 207. The 2 home runs coming on opening day in Philadelphia. 4 runs batted in. Check on Betts, who's back to the bag.
Betts does not have a steal so far this season, has not attempted one. Take a look at the career numbers in stolen bases for Mookie Betts.
There he goes, and Pedroia swings away. Fly ball out to left center field where Taylor waits and puts it away. So Betts back to the bag at first, and took him a little while to get back, but he does.
Let's take a look at the Nationals defense. 5 errors in 6 games. Yunel Escobar will be at third base. Ian Desmond, the shortstop. Danny Espinosa at second, and Ryan Zimmerman, the first baseman. Left right, Jason Worth, Michael Taylor, and Bryce Harper. And Jose Lobaton doing the catching. Today's Nationals defense is brought to you by DraftKings. There's Betts off with a pretty good jump at first base, but Pedroia swinging at the fastball, had to find it, re-tag second, and then get back to first base quickly.
So 1 out and 1 on. David Ortiz, the batter, and the Nationals into the shift, but they keep it tight to the infield with the double play possibilities. So David hitting at 130, the breakdown 3 for 23 for Big Papi. As they check on Betts again. A lot of at-bats for everybody in the Yankees series with that 19-inning game mixed in on Friday, and David was 2 for 16 in the overall series in New York. There goes Betts. Ortiz takes a pitch high, and the throw is going to be late. Betts takes off. He sees third is open, and he will be safe. The pitcher Zimmerman was headed over to cover and thought he had him, but Mookie alertly takes third.
Now, anytime a team is in a shift like that, you have to be aware of it as a base stealer. And Betts got to second base on a stolen base. Now there's nobody at third base. He knows this already. So he pops up and just keeps going. There was nobody to throw the ball to except Zimmerman. Zimmerman should have been over there in the first place. There's a shortstop, Escobar, chasing Betts. He can't catch him. Zimmerman can't catch him. And Betts ends up at third base. How about this start?
He is credited with 2 steals on the play. And they're waiting to see whether or not they're going to challenge it, as looking into the dugout, and it looks like they will. Here comes Matt Williams as to whether or not Zimmerman got the tag down. No longer does the manager have to come out, stand around, look into his dugout and wait. He can wait in the dugout and then let them know, and they are going to challenge. So the crew chief, Jim Reynolds, will lead the walk over to the headsets.
Well, let's see what they're challenging. First of all, they're challenging the play at second base, where Betts may have come off and been tagged, or are they challenging the play at third? I think they're challenging the play at second.
I think they're doing both. It looked like he said 2 things.
So here's the first one. Now, does he come off the bag and get tagged? Tough to tell from that angle. Let's take a look at another angle. It's a hard slide by Betts, and he comes off the bag, but his hand on there. I think it was. I think the hand was on there, and then he just popped right up and kept going to third base. It looked like the tag was on the bag, but the hand was also on the bag. Let's take another look. Now he's got the bag on his foot. Now his hand comes down. The tag goes to the back. And I think they may be challenging that.
They are only challenging the play at third.
I'll tell you what.
That comes from New York, we are told. So they're only challenging this.
Well, I think he's got that. I think the 1 second's more obvious than the one at third.
Umpire's taking a long look. This has gone on a while. We've been able to show you lots of different vantage points of both bases.
That's very close. That's really close at third base.
That vantage point almost looked like he got him. Oof.
It's almost impossible to tell, really.
And that is perhaps why it is taking so long. The umpire's still talking down there and going back and forth. We've looked at it a bunch. So John Farrell back to the dugout waiting for the decision.
What'd you think about the play at second?
Play at second, I thought he was out there.
I thought he was out there too.
Yeah.
I thought he came off the bag.
There's a chance he could be out twice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought there was no part of his body touching the bag when the tag was on there.
Well, the hand came off.
Yes, and the tag was there. And I think he's out at third. Close, but I think he's out at third.
I'm having a tough time with the one at third. This is supposedly not being challenged to play at second.
We're challenging it.
I'm challenging.
We don't have that kind of authority, but
now his hand's going to come off the bag. Is the tag still on there? Maybe not.
Maybe not.
Well, we're going to find out sooner or later today.
Maybe not. He is safe at third base. How about that? But no question, it took him a long time. One of the longest reviews we have seen. And likely because of how difficult it was to see. So Mookie Betts at third base, one down. And a chance here for David Ortiz. Mookie liked the decision.
Great hustle by Betts. No question about that. Either way.
Ortiz to left. Worth going back. It's over his head. From third will come Betts. David Ortiz got himself an RBI single, and the Red Sox lead it 1-0.
Welcome back to Fenway Park, David Ortiz. He's been certainly having his problems, but he enjoys that left field wall, left field. And that time gets a fastball that's tailing away just a little bit on the outside part of the plate and puts it over the head of Worth out there in left field. It's a pretty exciting start offensively for the Red Sox.
So Big Poppy with his second RBI of the year. First base with one out for Hanley Ramirez. 8 for 25 so far in the season, hitting at .320. 3 homers and 7 runs batted in. Today's key matchup is brought to you by Honda. Start something special with a great deal on a Honda. Hanley Ramirez, 410 for 25. Career batting average with 2 doubles and 6 RBIs lifetime against Jordan Zimmerman. Setting up inside on him. And it's a chopper to second base. Espinosa has trouble getting out of the glove. They get one at second and are not able to get Ramirez at first base. Espinosa had trouble getting it from the webbing of his glove.
And their defense has not been great here early in the season. And here's an example of what they could have had a double play to be out of this inning. Instead, Espinosa can't get a grip of the baseball out of the webbing of his glove. And Hanley Ramirez just barely beats it at first base.
So 2 down, Ramirez at first base, and Pablo Sandoval first at bat in a Red Sox uniform here at Fenway Park. Go to first as Ramirez back to the bag. Outside, 2-2. That's lefties 0 for 11 so far to begin the year. Facing a right-hander today. 9 for 19 is Sandoval.
7 for his last 18, 3-game hitting streak, a .462 average against Zimmerman.
Sandoval takes it outside and jumps ahead here, 3-0. On deck, Mike Napoli finally got that first hit out of the way last night. Long night for the Red Sox, getting back around 3:30 in the morning. As green light, and it's fouled back by Sandoval. Membership has its privileges. Learn how you can join the most exclusive sports membership in Boston as a Red Sox season ticket holder. Call 617-226-6888 or email new season's tickets at redsox.com for more information. 3-1 pitch and a swing and a miss. Another healthy cut, a fastball right down the middle at 93.
Yeah, he throws a lot of fastballs. There's no question about that. And just challenging Sandoval here with a 93-mile-an-hour fastball right down the heart of the plate.
On the ground, a fair ball out of the reach of Zimmerman down the right field line. Ramirez headed for third. Will be stopped there by Butterfield as Harper fires to the plate on a hop, and it's first and third now, 2 down, and a single for Sandoval.
Well, he continues great success against Zimmerman. With fastball inside part of the plate. I guess he likes the ball on the corners better than he does down the middle, because that one is inside, gets the head of the bat out and takes it right down that first baseline.
So Sandoval now against Zimmerman with that base hit is 7 for 14. Runners at the corners for Mike Napoli. His first hit of the year last night, and now 1 for 19 to start the season for Napoli. And it's snapped the career long 0 for 33 dating back to last year. An 8th inning single in last night's game. Ramirez at third base, Sandoval at first base. Shane Victorino waiting on deck, batting out of the number 7 spot in the Red Sox order. Popped up, foul ground. Zimmerman backpedals and makes the catch that ends the inning. So 1 run for the Red Sox. At the end of 1, it's 1-0 Boston.
top 1-0 here at the Red Sox debut at home. And we want to get you involved because, let's be honest, before this game, a large part of it was talking about pitching. So we're asking you in our poll question presented by the new Scion TC, which National League team has the best starting rotation? Is it the Dodgers? You can text Sox 1, Sox 2 if it's the Nationals, or Sox 3 if it's the Padres. Text your answer to 536-536. Remember, message and data rates may apply. Text help for info and visit NESN.com for the legal terms. I don't know, Don Jerry, it's kind of hard to argue against what we're about to face, which is 7 All-Star selections and a Cy Young on the Nationals rotation.
Yeah, I think you're looking at it right there. The Washington Nationals. We will get an up close and personal look here over the next 2 days after today. And Red Sox welcoming the Nationals here for the home opener. Ryan Zimmerman, Clint Robinson, and Ian Desmond about here in the second inning with the Red Sox on top 1-0.
We're told between innings that the umpires originally said they were challenging one play, but they did challenge both plays, the play at second base and the play at third base.
On the ground up the middle, Pedroia to the backhand, gets up, and throw is dug out nicely by Napoli to get Zimmerman.
That makes you feel good as an infielder. When you make a great play like that, like Pedroia did, then you throws in the dirt and you get help from your first baseman. And that's exactly what happened there. Pedroia with the first part of the play, Napoli with the second part of the play. There's the dive by Pedroia, spins around, little trouble getting it out of his web of his glove, and Napoli making the pick at first base.
One down for Clint Robinson, who takes a look at strike one. The H hitting at 400. Rick Porcello with 2 strikeouts in the first inning was able to get Taylor and Worth in the first. They give up a base hit to Yanel Escobar. And a breaking ball in there for strike 2.
Yeah, that's the curveball from Porcello. Throws both the curveball and the slider.
Strike 3 call. Third strikeout for Rick Porcello.
And Porcello had 4 strikeouts in his first game of the season. Here's the 2-seam fastball. It's going to come back. Left-handed hitter comes up on it. The little tail on it, back to the inside corner for the out.
2 down, 4 in a row, retired by the Red Sox right-hander. And here is Ian Desmond. 3 for 22 to begin the year. High chopper up to get it is Sandoval. His throw is perfect and the inning is over. The Panda in the air. 1-0 Red Sox.
Ball getting his first ground ball here at Fenway Park and skying ups right there to get that, and strong throwing arm across the diamond to get the out.
So the Red Sox come to bat here on top 1-0. Sandoval going to work on his finger in between innings. As the Red Sox come to bat, get a little assistance. Shane Victorino leads it off and takes strike one. Brad Pearson alongside to help out. Victorino 2 for 16 to begin the year. Followed by Xander Bogaerts and Sandy Leon. Ground ball softly hit. Escobar is going to cut it off, and he throws out Victorino. Stanley, the official tools of the Boston Red Sox when you demand performance in action on the job site. One down here in the second inning, and it brings up Xander Bogaerts. Xander 407 to begin the year, no homers and 6 runs batted in. Well, the hits leaders in the American League. Bogaerts tied with 11. Cabrera with 13 out of the gate for the Tigers. And how about the start they're having to the year? 6-0. On the ground to short. Desmond to his left. Throw pulls Zimmerman off the bag, and reaching is Bogaerts.
Now that's already the 5th error of the season on Desmond at shortstop. He never looked comfortable with this. His footwork didn't seem to be working correctly for him, and Bogaerts hustling all the way down the line, beats it out. I think he was surprised a little bit that Bogaerts was that far down the line.
That's a lot this early in the year.
That'll put you in a bad mood early, yeah. I'll tell you.
So 1 out and 1 on. Sandy Leon will have to wait as they check on Bogaerts at first. Leon 0 for 4. Makes his second start. In there for a strike. 91 miles an hour for Zimmerman. Two hits in the first inning for the Red Sox and a run. Now have a 1-out base runner at first base. And a ground ball up the middle into center field. It got through Zimmerman. And Leon has got a base hit, third hit for the Red Sox of the game as we check back in with El Duncan.
Yeah, Don, Sandy Leon told me a couple of hours ago that he found out the day he was being traded from the Nationals that he would in fact have to face them just a couple of weeks later. Obviously, he's familiar with this vaunted Nationals rotation. He said that the Red Sox coaching staff has picked his brain just a little bit. I said, what'd you tell him about Zimmerman? He said that he's going to come after you no matter what, and he's going to keep coming after you. I asked him if he thought his information would be put to good use, and he said, look, it's baseball. Guys' stuff is just different constantly. I could tell them watch his curve, and then his changeup could be nastier that day. So there's only so much that you can plan for. I will say, though, Don and Jerry, the most surprising part of the conversation, despite the $210 million paycheck, he thinks that Jordan Zimmerman is the ace of this Nationals rotation, that he's better. You got a hit on him. So there it is.
Certainly got a feel. He definitely has a feel about this staff and this organization. And he is at first base as Mookie Betts, second time through here for the Red Sox.
I think what people like about Zimmerman is the fact that he does not give in. I mean, he'll just keep attacking you with fastballs. You know, he's not gonna throw a lot of breaking balls during the course of a game. He's going to throw some, obviously. He has to, but he loves his fastball.
High drive to left for Betts. It is back. It is gone into the monster seats. How about this game for Mookie Betts? It is a 3-run home run, and the Red Sox take a 4-0 lead in the home opener.
Well, he did come after him with a fastball inside again. How many times have we seen this so far this season where they try to sneak that fastball inside to Mookie Betts and he just cleans it out? What a game so far for Mookie Betts.
Now Dustin Pedroia trying to hold up, could not, and is down 0-2. You think about it, at this time last year, Mookie Betts playing second base for the Portland Sea Dogs.
Yeah, a little bit different this year, isn't it?
Yep, just a tad. Bouncing in, kicks off Lobaton into his left.
It's hard to believe, looking out at this field and over this city, that when we left for spring training, it was about 50 feet of snow here. I mean, it's just gorgeous today. Just beautiful.
And the field in tremendous shape. Did a great job to get it ready. To left field, and this is going to get in for a hit in front of Worth. Dustin Pedroia's first hit of the day. Have a son or daughter who want to learn more about baseball or their favorite Red Sox players? Now you can. Check out NESSONClubhouse.com. It has videos, games, and a whole lot more. It's fun, free, and easy to use. NESSONClubhouse.com. Steve McCanny, the pitching coach out there for Matt Williams. Out there checking on Zimmerman, who has given up a 3-run home run here in the second. Allowed 3 hits, a miscue behind him. Fans enjoying the bleachers today on this home opener. Lots of sunshine out there today. Nationals into the shift for David Ortiz here in the second inning. David with a single in the first inning, one of now 5 Boston hits. A little bit lower, 1-1. And the Nationals coming in at 2-4 in the year so far. Fast start for the Braves in the National League East, 5-1 out of the gate. Pitching line for Zimmerman is brought to you by your Eastern Lexus dealers. Inning in a third, 5 hits, 4 runs, 3 of them are earned. He's walked about and has not yet struck anybody out. Already 40 pitches deep into his outing. Into the shift right side. Espinosa is going to go to second for 1, to first for 2. Double play. But the Red Sox score 3 times thanks to the 3-run home run by Mookie Betts. Get out of here in a hurry. Made in the USA from fine Italian fabrics, now available at Men's Warehouse. Mookie Betts with a 3-run home run. Red Sox lead it 4-0. Yeah, it's great to have with us a Red Sox poet and laureate, Dick Flavin. Great to see you, Dick.
Good to be aboard. Good to be aboard.
We understand that you have a brand new poem.
I have an opening day poem. Would you like to hear it?
I would love to hear it.
The long snowbound winter casts a dark pall, till one day an umpire hollers play ball. Then skies start to brighten, blue displaces gray. Baseball springs eternal, it's opening day. The birds start to sing, the trees are in bloom, the umpire's dusting home plate with his broom. It's a brand new beginning, something we all cheer. It's baseball's way of Happy New Year. And then there's another line in there. And baseball playing, it's a Happy New Year. And it goes on and on. Whatever.
Thank you very much. We appreciate it.
Yeah, not very good. Not very good.
Well, you have to be excited about this season, I know, heading into this year.
Well, I'll tell you, I think we might be watching. I know he was with the club for a good part of last year, but this might be the beginning of the age of Mookie. This has been a great beginning, and this team is going to score runs.
Well,
they are going to score runs.
Great to hear the many poems you've had over the years, and many events that you've had poems for here over the years as well, and a great many opening days. We've enjoyed having you with us as well today. Thanks very much for coming up.
Okay, happy to be aboard.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jerry.
Dick Flavin along with us. One down here in the third inning for Danny Espinoza after Lobaton had grounded out to second base to begin this inning. Fly ball out to left center field. Over comes Ramirez, and he makes the catch. 2 down. So 2 outs, back up to the top of the order for Michael Taylor, who struck out swinging in the first inning. Swinging a foul tip. Fly ball right center field. Betts and Victorino, and it's Victorino steps in front and makes the catch and ends the inning. 2.5 done, 4-0 Boston. POW MIA seat and was up the left field line, has moved spots this year and now behind the bullpen in right field. As we play along to the bottom of the third inning, and Hanley Ramirez leading it off. Pablo Sandoval, Mike Napoli. Ramirez reached on a fielder's choice in the first inning. Zimmerman giving up 4 runs in the first 2 innings. This one fouled off to the right. Yes, indeed. Thank you, Joseph Aboud.
I'll tell you, you're especially sharp today with
thank you.
Your pocket stuff and your rose.
I got the rose too.
Yeah,
I knew you would like the pocket stuff, but the rose was.
Well, that came as a total surprise.
Yes, did to me too. I didn't have until I got here. They had us wear on the field.
I noticed there were 3 announcers on the field.
Yes, we were 3 wide.
Great.
Oh, yeah, we were.
How many do the games? 4?
I think 6 altogether. Oh. We have the Spanish radio as well.
Yep.
I almost got hurt on the field.
Now,
if it wasn't for David Ortiz, I may not be with you.
I saw Jim Rice fixing your pocket square.
Yes,
on the,
he did a very good job. I don't know how to do it. Jim Rice wears one like every day.
Right.
So I don't know how to do it. But if David Ortiz had not made the catch on Tom Brady, I was all done. I was headed right to my kitchen. This one is fouled off to the right. Out of play. Ramirez, Sandoval, and Napoli here in the bottom of the third inning.
Has great opening ceremonies, as usual, here at Fenway Park.
Sarah McKenna, Dr. Charles Steinberg, as always. Foul down the right field line and into the seats. This guy may have won 4 Super Bowls because he was pretty impressive as well. They all had. But this throw, I'm standing over David Ortiz's shoulder, and then I thought it was going to get away. So I go right into the microphone area out of the way. 4 Super Bowls. Now, had he thrown that over the shoulder of David Ortiz, it might have been a better throw. That almost got away.
Let me put it this way.
Yeah.
Edelman would have caught that in the air.
And now Ramirez gets hit in the back. Nowhere to go there, and he'll head down to first base to begin the inning. On a 3-2 pitch.
No, you're right. You're exactly right. Nowhere you can go on something like that except take it off the back. And right off the 13 for Hanley Ramirez. Zimmerman not happy with himself, and Hanley not real happy.
So it is the second of 3 innings. The Red Sox have had the lead runner on. And here is Pablo Sandoval. He singled to right field in the first inning. DraftKings.com, the official fantasy partner of the Red Sox, giving out a pair of tickets to the Sox game on Patriots Day. Go to DraftKings.com/Nesson to play. Lead runner on for Boston here in the third inning, as Sandoval slaps it foul the other way.
See, my opinion of the Tom Brady pitch is that you always throw away from the defense and you rely on Edelman to dive and catch it. And that's what I thought Ortiz was supposed to do on that. I don't think it was a bad throw at all. I think he's just throwing away from the defensive back.
It had something on it, though, I'll tell you that. It came in pretty hard.
A former baseball player.
Yeah. Throw over, and Ramirez back.
Now, Ortiz should be diving for this ball.
He should, to protect me, if nothing else.
It's like it's going out of. What are you doing? Where are you
me
going?
And my Rose are getting out of there because I don't think David was coming up with that. And if David doesn't come up with that, that's right in my grill. If David doesn't come up with that,
you can always say a good hit by a pitch from Tom Brady.
Yeah, I guess I could have.
I mean, what are you running for?
As it was, I was almost hit by a pitch from Tom Brady.
Did you get a pitcher?
No. 1-2 pitch. Sandoval lays off.
I saw you taking a selfie on the field.
I did not take a selfie on the field.
Yes, you did.
I did not take a selfie on the field. I took a picture.
What is this?
I'm taking a picture. That's a picture going the other way, not of me. That's a picture of the microphone going out that I tweeted out.
You tweeting out a picture of the microphone?
The microphone and then the crowd behind it. I said, opening ceremony is about to begin at Fenway, or something along those lines, on Twitter. At Don Orsillo, by the way, in case you were wondering.
Okay.
So I was not taking a selfie.
Okay.
You can check my Twitter account.
Ah, that's
I thought you had me, didn't you? 2-2 is fouled off to the left out of play. Yeah, no. No selfie. Battle here with Sandoval with a runner at first. Pablo with a single to right in the first inning. Now he gets hit on a pitch inside, and Pablo's not happy. Back-to-back Red Sox have been hit.
Now, Sandoval's not happy, obviously, because the reputation he has against Zimmerman. I mean, it's incredible the numbers he has against him. And that's back-to-back hit batters, so patience getting a little thin right now. Tries a breaking ball, looks like that time, a slider against Sandoval right around the belt area.
Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center, the official hospital of the Boston Red Sox, never forgets that before you're a patient, you're a person. Beth Israel Deaconess, human first. Learn more at bidmc.org/human first. So back-to-back hit batsmen here in the third inning, and now Mike Napoli is coming up. Napoli fouled out to Ryan Zimmerman at first base. Napoli hits a high fly ball to deep left center field. Jason Worth and Taylor, and that's going to be landing harmlessly away from Taylor, who fires it back in. Everybody had to wait, and the bases are loaded as a result.
Taylor just misplayed this ball in center field. It didn't even hit the wall. It hit it on a bounce. Breeze blowing straight out towards center field this afternoon. And he can see him going back right here now. Watch it go to his left. He just set up in the wrong spot. And he plays it one bounce off the wall.
Defense has not been a strong suit today for the Nationals. So bases loaded, nobody out. And Shane Victorino takes a pitch high for ball one. Shane grounded out to third base in the second inning.
See the shadows right now between home plate and the pitcher's mound this late afternoon start at Fenway, and that's what you're going to have for a lot of the day.
Popped up. Infield fly rule in effect for the first out of the inning. Ace Ticket, the official Red Sox ticket partner, has the best seats at the lowest prices to all the games at Fenway. All the 200% guarantee. Right now, Ace Ticket has special savings on all Red Sox games, including the Yankees. Visit Ace Ticket or call 1-800-MY-SEATS. Bases loaded, one down, and Xander Bogaerts the batter. Xander reaching on an error by Ian Desmond, the shortstop. This is to right field and is going to get in for a base hit. From third comes Hanley Ramirez. Red Sox take a 5-0 lead. Xander Bogaerts drives in a run.
Just reach out and touch, and that's exactly what he did right there. Reached out and touched an outside breaking ball. So Bogaerts is on fire. 6 straight games right now he's hit in. There's that breaking ball away. Bogaerts covering the outside part of the plate and bloops it in the right field for the base hit and the RBI. And 7 RBIs now on the season for Bogaerts.
So bases filled here with Red Sox. A run in, 1 out, and Sandy Leon the batter. And a base hit in the second inning scored the Red Sox 3rd run. Action for the first time for the Nationals. A right-hander up in the pen. Tanner Roark is up in the pen. On corner, and Leon didn't especially like that. 2-1. Sandoval at third base with Napoli at second, Bogaerts at first. 1 down here in the Boston 3rd inning, a run in. In on the hands and foul back.
I think that's one that Leon would like to have back right there. He had a pretty good pitch to swing at with the bases loaded. Fouled it back.
On the ground, rolled it over, foul. We'll see his 6th pitch in this at bat. Former Washington National, Sandy Leon. Happy little guy right there. Acquired by the Red Sox from the Nationals in exchange for cash considerations right at the end of spring training. It's the arms out of the way and almost picked up the corner.
And that's certainly one that could have gone either way right there, and you wouldn't have an argument. Looks like it did have a piece of the strike of the plate area.
Fly ball right field. Headed back is Harper, and over now as the wind takes it. Taylor's coming over too, and it's going to drop. From third comes Sandoval. Throw will go to second. This is an absolute disaster right now for the Washington Nationals. 6-0 Boston.
This has become ridiculous out there. I mean, these are not difficult fly balls. Now I understand it might be tough to see out there for Harper in that sun, but we mentioned the sun and the breeze today, and right here it looks like Harper's lost. He's looking to his center fielder, and his center fielder is nowhere near the ball. Taylor. I'm not so sure Harper saw that. He was looking for help. And Zimmerman just totally frustrated. You got to give him a hit on that.
Yes, single and an RBI. Scored Sandoval, and it is 6-0 Boston. Mookie Betts, how about his day? A walk in the first, stole 2 bases, then a 3-run home run, and before all of that, a catch robbing Bryce Harper of a home run in the top of the first inning. So he's done it all.
And if he comes inside again with another fastball, he might have 4 more RBI.
Strike call. His 3rd plate appearance, and we're only in the 3rd inning. Napoli now at 3rd, Bogaerts at 2nd, and Leon at 1st.
Staying away now. The last 2 pitches, slider away that time.
On the ground left side. Escobar can't get it. Shortstop Desmond with a bobble. Run will score. Everybody's safe. 7-0 Red Sox.
I wouldn't be at all surprised to see that go as a base hit, because when it got by Escobar, Desmond was blocked, and there's really not much he could do about it.
So a pitching change coming up here. Matt Williams headed out to get Jordan Zimmerman, as the Red Sox have a 7-0 advantage. The pitching change from Fenway. Here for the Nationals, they have struggled in this game. Zimmerman also hitting back-to-back batters, getting Ramirez and Sandoval, and then the more miscues to follow. This out in right center field. I got it, you take it. Nobody takes it. It drops in on the lawn in right center, and on it has gone for the Nationals today. And Zimmerman gets chased from this game, responsible for all the men on, and the bases are loaded. Still only one out here in the third inning, and he is frustrated, no doubt. Tanner Roark is into the game now. Roark was in the rotation, as this call to the bullpen is brought to you by Kia. Very good last year, but with his rotation so good, he gets pushed to the pen this year. This is his third appearance, 3.86 ERA so far this year. Had 22 wins since his major league debut back in 2013. In 31 starts last year, he had a 2.85 earned run average, but cannot fit into the rotation this year. But here he is into the game.
That's pretty amazing. You have that kind of year and can't find a place in a rotation for you.
Sorry. You get guys like Max Scherzer now. Pedroia is the 8th member of the Red Sox. Also Gio Gonzalez there, who we will see in this series. As Gonzalez goes in game 3, we'll see Steven Strasburg here tomorrow. Pedroia grounds it foul outside of third. Bases filled with Red Sox, one down. Pedroia to right center. We'll see. Taylor's out there waiting. And he makes the catch, tagging at third and scoring is Xander Bogaerts. And the Red Sox take an 8-0 lead. Sac fly for Pedroia. So now it is Leon at second, Betts at first as Pedroia picks up his 5th RBI of the year. Bogaerts scoring.
Situational hitting there. I mean, stay away from the double play. Get the ball in the air. If you don't get a base hit, you still get a run home.
Ninth member of the Red Sox to bat here in the 3rd inning. Big Papi has singled and grounded into a double play. His single in the first produced the Red Sox first run of the day. And a swing and a miss for strike one. Chili Davis enjoying this offensive output. 8 runs, 9 hits, and we're not out of the 3rd inning yet. Another swing and a miss, 1-2.
Something you didn't see from Zimmerman, changeups. That was a changeup that time by Roark.
Off the glove of Lobaton, but the runners will not advance. Lobaton runs it down quickly.
And try another changeup that time, and it bouncing off the glove, but no advance. Easy ball for the runner at second base to see because it bounces in that direction. So you know you're already in scoring position at second base. You're not going to take the chance.
Ortiz hits in the air to right field. Harper battling the sun in right will make the catch. That ends the inning. But a productive inning for the Red Sox as they score 4 more and take an 8-0 lead. People and communities first. Eastern Bank helps make good things happen. Watch how good things are happening to local people at easternbank.com/good things happen. Well, good things are happening to the Red Sox. They got a run in the first 3 in the second, 4 in the third, and lead 8-0 as we head to the 4th inning. Now Escobar with a swing and a miss. Very lengthy wait for Rick Porcello, as the Red Sox collect 4 more runs for him in the last of the 3rd inning. Worked out to be a 27-minute wait. There's a chopper that Bogaerts will run down. Low throw, and this time Napoli can't dig it out.
You can see Bogaerts almost short on that ball at first base. He covers a lot of ground to get to the ground ball, but then that throw, you could see as soon as it left his hand, was not going to reach Napoli. Awkward throwing position for Bogaerts right there, and right out of the glove. Probably was an error on Bogaerts. We'll have to wait and see.
It is a miscue. First of the day for Boston. This one fouled back to the screen. Great to have Mayor Walsh here today as part of the pregame ceremony, along with the president and CEO of the Red Sox, Larry Lucchino, who's wearing the same rose I am, Jerry.
What's that?
That's the same rose I'm wearing.
Yeah, well, you guys tight? You guys close?
We are very tight, Larry and I. This one tap foul at the dish and gets a piece of Leon.
Look like you're ready to go to the prom or something.
Almost. I didn't know where to put it. I thought there was a lot of red on one side. I should have mixed it up and put it on the other side.
You got a lot of red going on.
I could separate the red.
Looks very nice. Very good.
It's a lot of red. Thought you'd have something to say about the vest too. No 2 pitches going to miss.
I can almost predict what you're going to wear on opening day.
Really? It's gotten to that point? Well, it has been 15 now. So
I can almost predict, you're going to wear the pocket stuff. You're going to have a vest on, the cold on the boiler. You're going to, I know exactly.
Down the line and right, and a foul ball.
You always look good, so, I take that as a compliment.
Thank you. I'm packed into my vest like a sausage. We usually wear a vest for opening day, and it is made by him. This gentleman did an outstanding job again. Joseph Abboud in the house as Bryce Harper bats here. The runner at first, count of 1-2. And a swing and a miss. He strikes out. So Porcello to the fastball at 93 picks up his 4th strikeout.
Very good fastball too. He keeps it away from Harper. Fastball to the outside part of the plate with a little bit of a tail on it at 93 miles an hour. Everything had been basically inside, and then goes away for the put away pitch.
One out, runner at first. Jason Worth will take a strike as we check back in with L.
So the guy up to bat right now, Jason Worth, Shane Victorino, and he played together in Philly, won a World Series together back in 2008. Shane told me that was his dog. His words, not mine. Even though he did not know that Worth was going to be activated today and make his season debut.
We will hear more from Al when we come back to Fenway Park. It is 8-0 Red Sox. Bank is here to make your banking and your day easier. See how at easternbank.com. Here, your first Eastern Bank. Al was in the midst of telling us about Jason Worth when the inning ending in a double play. Let's check back in with Al.
Exactly. I think Red Sox fans will take the double play over my story, but the crux of what I was trying to say was that Shane Victorino and himself, of course, played in Philly back in 2008 when they won a World Series together. I was just talking to Shane about the differences in that team and the team that he won with on the Red Sox, and he said, be honest, Al, they are almost exactly the same. He was like, I'm not showing favoritism. I'm just saying that we all got along, the ability to bust each other's chops, that there was no one person in there, no ego. And he actually compared, Don and Jerry, the exact same situation happening in the clubhouse this year. He says that this team just feels like they get along and they like each other, and that when push comes to shove at the end of the season, they could look back and say that that could be what put them over the top, was how much they like each other. And you guys have been around the team. You can kind of sense it. They joke a lot. They throw the football in there. It's definitely a turnaround from last season.
I would agree. So far, so good. And, Jerry, I know that a lot has to do with winning. There's no doubt about that. And so far, so good in that regard also. But I think the guys that they have had have all been pretty good character guys, and it is similar in the way the 2013 team was constructed.
I would agree with that, Don, and I think that things meshed together very well in spring training. The guys that came in, Hanley, Pablo, quickly became favorites in the clubhouse. But again, it's all about winning, and this is a very, very long season. We have not even put a dent in what's going to happen over the summer, and you're going to have good times and you're going to have bad times, and hopefully through the bad times you remain a close-knit group.
I do think that there are similarities in how they treated the off seasons after last place finishes, though. If you take a look at it, or even during the season for that matter, they unloaded, of course, what they did to the Dodgers to reload for 2013. Now, this last year, you trade 4/5 of your starting rotation and others away at the trade deadline to reload for this season again. And it's a similar pattern. You don't want to finish last, but they've gone about it the right way during the offseason to get ready for the next year.
That's interesting. Most clubs right now are going after offense like the Red Sox did in the offseason. The Nationals, on the other hand, keep adding to their starting rotation. So which is going to win out? Because the offense has been down, it's very hard to find very good offensive players. The Red Sox picked up a couple within a few days. The Nationals went out and added to their pitching staff, which was already very good.
Bat goes flying into the seats. The pop-up in foul ground is run down by the pitcher. So Roark into foul ground to grab it and haul it in for the first out of the inning. Nice catch and a nice running play.
All right, you got to tip your cap right there to the pitcher. I mean, he made a fantastic play going all out. And nobody else was going to get this. Zimmerman at first base couldn't get there, and a sliding play by the pitcher. Beautiful play. Play of the day for the Nationals.
So one down here in the fourth inning brings up Pablo Sandoval. The bat ended up about 3 rows deep in behind the Nationals dugout. And then last swing by Ramirez. So bounce in for ball 1. On the ground right side, Espinosa to his left. Sandoval out number 2 with 4th inning. Be sure to follow NESN on Instagram to see all things behind the scenes this Red Sox season. Follow NESN at Instagram.com/NESN. 2 down in the 4th, and it brings up Mike Napoli. Napoli 1 for 2. The single his last time up. And a swing and a miss, 0-2. So Jordan Zimmerman today, 2 1/3, 9 hits, 8 runs, 7 earned. Walked a batter, did not strike anybody out. Came in 1-0 with a 1.50 into his second start, and Red Sox getting to him didn't have much help defensively behind him either. Hit a few batters, 2 back-to-back, and Hanley Ramirez and Pablo Sandoval in the third inning. On the ground left side, Escobar to his left. Nice pick. He'll set and throw in plenty of time to get Napoli. For the first time today, the Red Sox are down in order. Now, Jordan's Furniture, it's your chance to win free furniture and mattresses. If the Sox win the championship this season, it's all free. It's the Monster Repeat, and it's going on now. Go Sox. 8-0. Red Sox have the lead over the Nationals. Top of the 5th inning. Ryan Zimmerman, Clint Robinson, and Ian Desmond. One hit through the first 4 innings allowed by Rick Porcello. The base runner, an error charge to Xander Bogaerts. And the hit allowed by Porcello came in the first. Zinel Escobar with a single to right field. Ryan Zimmerman getting his second look at Porcello today, and he bounced out to Pedroia at second base.
Injury-plagued season last year for Zimmerman, moving this year to first base from third base.
It was the Nationals' first draft pick in 2005. Club's all-time leader in runs, 692 hits, 1,329 doubles, home runs, 185. Fly ball, center field and deep. That's going back onto the dirt of the track, and that ball is gone. Into the bleachers in straightaway center field, and the Nationals are on the board. Zimmerman gets his second home run of the year, and it's now 8-1 Boston.
And that's why they need this kid healthy. He's a very good offensive player. High fastball that time above the belt. Then he'll take the straightaway center field for the home run. So 2 home runs given up by Porcello this year. 1 on a slider that time, the fastball.
And Jeff Francoeur getting him on the breaking ball in Philadelphia. A 3-run home run, which led to Porcello's loss as the pitch a strike over the outside corner to Clint Robinson. Outside and high, 3-1. First time Porcello has ever faced the Washington Nationals. Last year setting career bests in wins with 15, ERA 3.43, most innings he's ever thrown. High fly ball to center field again, sending Mookie Betts back, and this one is high off the wall in center field, up over Betts. Victorino will get it back in, but headed to third as Robinson. Throw will be late and gets away, but is backed up by Porcello right in front of the Nationals dugout. Porcello was not there. They would have awarded the plate to Robinson. But as it is, he stands at third base, and a couple of long balls here.
Yeah, that ball really traveling well out toward center field, too. That ball was hooked. It was outside, away from Robinson, and he hooks it to center field, off the wall, over the head of Betts. Slowing up a little bit going around was Robinson, but then decides to go for three. The throw gets by, but Porcello doing his job backing up the base. Keeps it out of the dugout.
It's a home run and a triple to begin this fifth inning for Washington. Now Ian Desmond coming up. Desmond bounced out to Sandoval at third base in the second inning. 0 for 1. He'll foul it back to the screen. He's headed out towards center field. We've seen some of those balls head out in that direction. Get a little boost. Fouled off, and it's 0-2.
Yeah, generally this time of year you get either that breeze going from left to right or the sea breeze coming in from center field. Not today. It's more of a summertime breeze blowing out towards center field.
Fastball getting away. Desmond 3 for 23 to begin the year at the plate. Bouncing outside, blocked by Leon, who saves a run.
Leon getting another start today, his second, and done a very nice job behind the plate.
And we got to look at his throwing arm in New York.
Yes.
Impressive against the Yankees. Full count now. Nationals had just one hit coming here into the fifth, but a home run and a triple. That was Jose Lobaton waiting on deck. To second and caught by Pedroia for the first out of the inning towards the end of the bat. One down. Well, today we welcome spring weather to Boston and baseball. Make sure you never miss a game by downloading the Red Sox schedule today. Visit NESN.com/schedule to import the 2015 schedule directly into your favorite desktop, web, or mobile calendar program. One down. Robinson at third base gains a short lead, and here's Jose Lobaton. 0 for 4 on the season so far, and he grounded out to Pedroia at second base. Again, Leon up to the task on a ball in the dirt. That runner at third, a couple of good blocks by Leon.
That's the first inning where it looks like Porcello struggling just a little bit with his control. Bouncing that. Nice play, as you mentioned, down by Leon to pick that, keep the runner at third. Back to the fastball, back to the outside corner.
In his first outing, Porcello went 6 innings, giving up the 3 runs. Ground ball down the first baseline, foul. Tuesday, April 14th is Wally Bobblehead Night at Fenway Park. All kids 14 and under will receive a free Wally Bobblehead presented by Hood. Visit redsox.com/promos for more info and to purchase your tickets now. 1-2 pitch up and away, and it's 2-2. Robinson, who tripled, still at third base with one out. Framed there by Leon, but it's ball 3. Beautiful day on opening day, the home opener for the Red Sox. So far, so good. In the dirt, ball 4 and down to first base with the first walk goes Lobaton.
It almost looked like Porcello was surprised that the count was 3-2 when he threw the slider that time. He quickly turned around. I don't know if that was in disgust with the pitch or to look at the scoreboard. But he throws the breaking ball on a 3-2 count. And that's a little bit surprising with the lead that he has. Now look at him turn to see what the count was. I think that's what he was looking at. A little bit surprising to see that breaking ball on a 3-2 count with an 8-1 lead.
Espinosa takes strike 1. Fly it out to the left fielder, Hanley Ramirez, in the third inning. And now it's Robinson at third, Lobaton at first, one out in the Washington fifth.
A few fastballs have been up in the zone this inning too for Porcello. This is the most he struggles so far this afternoon.
On the ground, softly towards first. Napoli will back up and tag the bag. Run will score for the Nationals. Robinson in from third on the ground up by Espinosa. As Lobaton takes second base, it's now 8-2. Toyo Tires, the official tire of the Boston Red Sox. Whether you're taking your truck off-road, the kids to practice, or your sports car to its limits, there's a Toyo Tire for you. Visit toyotires.com to find a dealer. 2 down in the fifth with Lobaton at second. And a pitch outside to Michael Taylor. Taylor 0 for 2. He has struck out swinging and fly to right. Listed as a number 2 prospect in the Nationals organization by Baseball America heading into the year, and here he is. Double A and Triple A last year, 110 games combined between the two. That's with Lobaton at second, 2 outs, and 2 runs already in. Foul outside of third. Tune in tonight after the game to NESN Sports Today, presented by People's United Bank. Adam and Nikki will have complete team coverage of the Red Sox home opener, and you'll hear from the Bruins front office at Bruins Breakup Day. See what know-how can do. Tough inning so far for Porcello. He's given up a pair of runs. Missing high now. And a full count to Taylor. Juan Nieves has already been to the mound in this inning. A home run and a triple started this inning for the Nationals. Fly ball, foul ground. Napoli going as far as he can. So is Pedroia. And it's Pedroia makes the basket catch to end the inning. The Nationals get 2 back in the top of the fifth. It's 8-2 Boston. Good tomorrow starting pitchers. Steven Strasburg Thursday against the Mets went 5 1/3 innings, gave up 3 runs and a loss to the Mets, while Justin Masterson Thursday at Philadelphia went 6 innings and gave up 3 hits with 7 strikeouts and 2 walks for his first win of the season. This closer look is brought to you by FW Web. For an even closer look, visit FWWeb.com. Shane Victorino coming up. And Jerry, I should mention, as we mentioned, Justin Masterson. When I arrived here at the ballpark today, I got the great news at the guard shack when I came in that Merrill Masterson had made us cookies.
Oh, you holding out on me?
No, I just remembered now. As soon as I heard myself say Justin Masterson's name, it occurred to me that we received these cookies from Merrill. So we would thank Merrill very much for all these cookies. And there's not enough for everybody. So we'll put them right back in the bag and over here. This is to left field. And back goes Worth to make the catch. As Shane Victorino is the first out of the 5th inning.
I thought maybe the first chance we get those would be tomorrow when he makes his start. But
no, we got him early.
Opening day.
Yes, right out of the gate. So we thank Merrill.
You think you might save one for me?
Sure.
You think so?
You can have one. To be honest with you, it's the first thing I thought of when we reacquired Justin Masterson. Merrill Masterson.
Well,
and the cookies.
And the cookies, yeah.
Cookies. So it's great to have Justin Masterson back on the team. 1 down as Xander Bogaerts takes strike 1. Reached on an error in the 2nd inning. Single to right in the 3rd. On deck, Sandy Leon. Red Sox batting. Home half of the 5th inning. Grounder up over the mound, and it is cut off by Desmond. His throw is late and wild, but picked by Zimmerman. As Bogaerts to reach with 1 out on a base hit, his 2nd hit of the game.
You know, sometimes you just can't buy a hit, and right now everything that it seems like Bogaerts makes contact on is going to be a base hit. It's a bounding ball up the middle. Nice play by Desmond. But really no chance at all of throwing out Xander Bogaerts at first base. Tried the 1-hop throw. Bogaerts beating it out, so he's 2 for 3 on the afternoon. We kind of talked about it in New York about Bogaerts, you know, getting off to a good start to give him confidence, and you know, all those things are happening right now for him.
1 out, 1 on. Leon. There's a strike, and it's 2-1.
Not the kind of pitch you want to swing at on a 2-0 count. A ball that's down and away like that, and probably off the plate. 2 strikes. You got to be a little bit more aggressive, but not when the count's 2-0.
Flared foul off to the left, out of play. No rookie to flavor. Hood just stepped up to the plate with a new Red Sox caramel sundae cone. Bring it on home today. Always good, always Hood. One out, 1 on. Leon with a count of 2-2. That one eats up Zimmerman into right field, down the line as Bogaerts heads to 3rd. Leon at first base. The Red Sox have runners at the corners with 1 out.
Pretty
good day today for Mookie, Jerry, right out of the gate.
Well, a tremendous catch to save a home run early in the ball game, and then 2 steals. Steal a second, nobody covering third base, so he goes to third. The home run, a 3-run home run. Almost surrounded first base on that one. Had to kind of readjust as he was going hard down that first base line. Has also had a single with another RBI.
So first and third, 1 down, and here he is. 4th plate appearance, and he drives it to center. Taylor coming in to make the catch on the run. Bogarts bluffed the tag and returns to third, and a great throw out there by Taylor. So the throw was drawn, and it was a good throw. Back to the bag goes Bogarts, 2 down.
Yeah, when the ball left the bat, I said, well, there's another RBI for him, but Taylor made a very nice play coming in hot and a very strong, accurate throw to home plate. So a good decision by Butterfield down at third to hold up Xander Bogaerts. So he'd have been out by quite a distance at home plate.
Talk about Taylor and the fact that he's number 2 prospect in the organization. The last 5 years in the minor leagues, he's been their number 1 defensive prospect every year. Going to look at it right there. So 2 down, and here is Dustin Pedroia. Fly to center, single, and last time up hit a sacrifice fly. Picked on the backhand by Lobaton. The strike picks up the outside corner, 2-1. Roark's been in the game since the 3rd. Jordan Zimmerman chased after 2 1/3. Charged with 8 runs, 7 earned. The starter today for the Nationals. Pedroia on a check swing, almost like he didn't mean to, and it evens at 2-2.
A little different backdrop for hitters this year out in center field. The camera cages that were out there have now been moved, and a little more of a dark area out there for the hitters to see during the daytime.
Fouled at the plate.
Still tough right now with the shadows, but you know, the area we're talking about used to be where the cameras were out there in center field, right around the 379 in the bleachers, and they have been moved now up. You can see on a platform, there they are, which give you a beautiful shot of behind the pitcher.
Matt Johnson out there for us, and Kenny Boyd. 2-2 pitch. On the ground up the middle, ranging is Desmond. He'll flip to second. Nicely done on a force out that ends the inning. The Red Sox will strand a pair, but take an 8-2 lead to the 6th inning. Baseball in Nesson is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. The chairman of the Boston Red Sox, Tom Werner, along with Hall of Famer Pedro Martinez, as this fly ball sent out to right center field. Mookie Betts tracking it. Makes the catch to retire Yanel Escobar for the first out of the 6th inning. Rick Porcello working into the 6th inning. The pitching line brought to you by Ace Ticket. 5 1/3, 3 hits, 2 runs, a walk, and 4 Ks. 73 pitches for Porcello. As Bryce Harper coming up here for the Nationals. Harper flied out to the warning track, and a great catch by Betts robbed him of a home run and then struck out swinging in the 4th inning. Jammed and fouls it back.
Very fiery type play of Bryce Harper. Very young when he got to the big leagues. Very talented player.
Broken back grounder, kind of a grass cutter out to second base, and Pedroia throws, and Napoli keeps the foot on the bag. Nicely done by Mike Napoli. Another wide throw from Pedroia that kind of took off to the right field side of first.
That's a couple of times today. Napoli has really helped out Dustin on a couple of plays at first base. First of all, the range by Pedroia, the backhand, the quick release, and he throws a sinker, a ball running away from Mike Napoli at first base, but he's able to stretch out and make the play. Actually, it wasn't a sinker, it was a cutter.
Here is Jason Worth, 0 for 2, a strikeout, and he's grounded into a double play. Four in a row retired by Rick Porcello. And a tapper down the third baseline. Leon's out, gets it, throws low, and Napoli helps him out. A one hopper that Napoli somehow reels in. Nicely done. It ends the top of the 6th inning, and there are a few players that can thank Mike Napoli today. Red Sox have the lead over the Washington Nationals as we play along to the bottom of the 6th inning. Big Papi David Ortiz to lead it off. Nationals into the shift as Roark with a curveball. It drops in there for strike one. Ortiz has singled to left to drive in the game's first run. Bounced into a 4-6-3 double play and then fly to right. 1 for 3 opening day here at Fenway Park for David. Up and away, 2-1. Roark was stretched out during the spring as a possible starting scenario, so that's why he's been able to go so long here today and works into his 4th inning of relief for Jordan Zimmerman.
Yeah, and he can go longer too because he's in an American League ballpark, National League ballpark. Obviously, he'd be pinch hit for at some point, but able to save the bullpen a little bit.
Zimmerman lasting just 2 1/3 innings today. 9 hits, 8 runs, 7 earned. Deep center field for Ortiz. That ball is going to be gone into the monster seat. Straightaway center. Above the 379 marker and on top of the monster. Big Papi's 2nd home run of the year puts the Red Sox on top 9-2.
One thing we've noticed over the last couple of games is Ortiz's balance at the plate has been much better. He was off balance early in that road trip as we started the season, but that balance is back, and today is a great example, going to the opposite field twice, once for a base hit to drive in a run in the 1st, and then staying back very nicely on that home run and taking it to the opposite field. That's a great sign for Ortiz.
Now Hanley Ramirez reached on a fielder's choice, hit by a pitch and fouled out. As 468 home runs now for David. In there for a strike, and it is 2-1 now to Ramirez. You didn't like it. Hanley with 3 home runs of his own so far. And he'll take the walk here in the 6th inning. So home run and a walk to begin the bottom of the 6th inning. Are you looking for ways to entertain employees or clients? Take them out for a night at Fenway Park to watch your beloved Red Sox. Visit redsox.com/groups for more information. A lot of fans standing here on this home opener at Fenway Park as the Red Sox enjoying their home opener right now on top 9-2. Already a run in here in the bottom of the 6th inning, and now Pablo Sandoval. Sandoval is single in the 1st inning to right, hit by a pitch in the 3rd and scored. Grounded out to second base in the 4th inning. Hold off to the left, 1-1. Don't miss WB Mason Extra Innings Live right after the game. TC, Jim Rice, and Tim Wakefield post-game reaction from the Red Sox clubhouse. Can't go wrong when you buy right at WB Mason. Line to center field and a base hit for Sandoval. Hanley Ramirez up to second base. And the first three have reached here in the sixth inning.
Well, Mike Napoli has had a very nice day defensively at first base, really helping out his infield as this ball gets away a little bit up that right field line, and then makes a great play here. Leone bouncing it and Napoli going to his back. And I think he's probably telling the guys in the dugout, look, you know, enough's enough. Give me some nice chest high throws for a while here so I can cruise a little bit. That's Sandoval base hit. I've been impressed with the way he stays back on. He doesn't stay back. His hands stay back. His whole body goes forward on the changeup, but his hands stay back, and he's still able to hit that pitch for a base hit.
Here's a check swing grounder softly to Espinosa. He'll go to second for one. That's it. They will get the middleman as they retire Sandoval. Not hit hard. And the Ramirez goes to third. Napoli reaching at first. So first and third, one down. Shane Victorino coming up. He would like to join this hit party today. He does not have one. It's grounded out to third, popped out to second, flied out to left. Further action for Washington as Aaron Barrett is up, a right-hander. Strike called, 1-1. Shane did not have a hit in the series against the Yankees, going 0 for 8. '60th pitch, and it's in there for a strike. Strike two. Tanner Roark coming in for Jordan Zimmerman in the third inning. Has one out here in the sixth. High chopper to third base. Escobar go to second for one, on to first for two. Around the horn they go on the double play that ends the sixth inning. 9-2, Red Sox have the lead. runs like a laser printer, but it's twice the speed at half the cost. The HP Office Jet Pro X clocks in at 70 pages per minute. Get yours today for up to 50% off from who? WB Mason. 7th inning, 9-2. Red Sox have the lead. Rick Porcello back on the mound. Ryan Zimmerman, Clint Robinson, and Ian Desmond. The trio expected here in the 7th inning. Just up over 80 pitches now at 81 for Rick Porcello, who's retired 5 in a row.
He bounced back very nicely in the 6th. He had a little trouble in the 5th inning, giving up a couple of runs, but a nice 1-2-3 6th. It looks like back in the groove of throwing strikes.
It's there on the curveball. Fall behind 2-1. Full count now. He has walked 1, struck out 4 through the first 6+ innings. Clint Robinson on deck for Washington. Chop left side. Sandoval plays it off to the side. His throw is off the mark into the Red Sox dugout. Unleash that. No chance for Napoli to help him out on that one.
Yeah, probably an easier play if you have to do it again to let Bogaerts take that, because he's playing a very tough hop, as you can see right there. He gets himself squared up with first base, but just misfires on the throw. But I think Bogaerts was in position where he could have easily made a backhanded play and probably had a better chance of being in a better throwing position than Sandoval. Sandoval knew it as soon as he let it go.
Second error charge of the Red Sox today. Zimmerman at second base. This ball is grounded foul off the bat of Clint Robinson. Robinson has struck out looking and tripled off the wall in center field in the 5th inning. So now Porcello has to work around the error committed by Sandoval at third base. The other Red Sox miscue is committed by Bogaerts. So 2 errors on the left side of the infield for Boston today. Breaking ball chopped right side. Pedroia plays the hop and throws out Robinson as Zimmerman takes third base. It's time for a game break brought to you by Jordan's, the furniture store of the Boston Red Sox. Tom? All right, Tom, thanks very much. As this is a ground ball softly into short. Bogaerts will go to first for out number 2. In from third comes Zimmerman with the 3rd Nationals run of the day. So Desmond grounding out, but picking up an RBI. Base is now empty, and Jose Lobaton coming up.
Strange contact right there by Desmond. That ball looked like it was spinning pretty good as it headed out toward Bogaerts. Almost like Xander had to read it and then pick up speed coming in to get it. See Bogaerts, yeah, spinning right there, and he has to almost change directions, go back to his right to make that play. So it looked routine, but it was not.
Lobaton today is grounded out to second and walked. Nine runs, 13 hits, 2 errors for Boston. 3 runs, 3 hits, and an error for the Nationals. They have picked up a run here in the 7th inning. Miscue by Sandoval. Turned into a run here pretty quickly by the Nationals. Danny Espinosa on deck for Washington, batting out of the number 9 spot. Full count now. Strike 3 call. Lobaton knew it. Takes with him the 5th strikeout for Porcello. It's 9-3, 7th inning stretch.
Welcome to opening day, everybody.
Nine to 3 on this opening day from Fenway Park. Red Sox have the lead, out hitting the Nationals 13-3. Great pregame ceremony here. As we check out today's Coors Timeless Moment. Today is the Red Sox first home opener against a team from Washington, D.C. since 1959, when Boston beat the American League's Washington Senators 7-3. The Red Sox have won their last 5 home openers facing a team from Washington, D.C., beating the AL Senators in 1941, 1947, 1953, 1954, and 1959. And if I'm not mistaken, Jerry, you were first drafted by the Washington Senators, right?
Give away my age here, but you're exactly right. Out of high school, the Washington Senators drafted me, and elected not to sign, go to college. That was a mistake, and then I re-signed with the California Angels in the January draft. So
that worked out all right.
It was the Washington Senators, yeah.
But it wasn't a money thing? You weren't holding out for much more money or anything?
Don, in my signing, there was no money involved.
Your agent didn't tell you to sit out the year?
0.00. 0.00.
All right, so we move along to the bottom of the 7th inning. A new pitcher now for the Nationals.
I think it was $500 a month in a uniform. I think that's
it.
Pretty much what it was. Yeah, and a lot of long bus rides.
Well, things worked out as Aaron Barrett appears in his 4th game of the year. He's not giving up a run in 2 2/3 innings. 5 strikeouts, a walk, and opponent sitting at 111 against Barrett. As Xander Bogaerts leads it off here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Well, Jason Worth was back for his first game after rehabbing in the minor leagues, but he is out of the game now. Veteran Reed Johnson, former Toronto Blue Jay, among other teams, now in left field. Xander Bogaerts reached on an error in the 2nd inning, singled in the 3rd, and then again in the 5th. So 2 for 3 with an RBI today, and now 7 RBIs on the year. Tanner Roark went 3 2/3, 4 hits, a run, a home run by David Ortiz in the 6th inning. Walked a batter, did not strike anybody out. In fact, the Nationals as a staff today do not have a strikeout of a Red Sox batter. And here's the 3rd walk they've given up today. Leadoff walk to Xander Bogaerts, on for the 4th time today. Well, NESN is looking for youth baseball and softball teams to be a live studio audience for NESN Clubhouse on select Sundays this baseball season. Visit NESNClubhouse.com and click on Studio Audience to enter your son or daughter's team. The experience includes a pizza party before and a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to be an active part of the studio audience. Lead runner on for Sandy Leon, and he'll take strike 1.
A lot of kids in the crowd today. I love the idea when they introduced the players today, taking out the kids with them to the what a thrill that had to be.
Calling all kids.
Yep.
Something they'll never forget, no doubt, being introduced here at Fenway Park along with their favorite players, and looks on their faces down there on the line standing next to Red Sox players. Pretty incredible. Leon gets the arms out of the way, but it's a good pitch for a strike. And this was part of the ceremony today. Kids would come out with their players, or a couple of kids in some instances with each guy. One-two pitch. High this time. 2-2. Mookie Betts waiting on deck. And a terrific day for the Red Sox center fielder in this home opener. To first, and Zimmerman will go to second for 1. Pitcher covers, and they turn the double play. A little stumble there at the bag for Barrett, but he gets the job done on the 3-6-1 twin killing. Well, Mookie Betts coming up. Here's today's T-Mobile game changer, and he's done it all, from robbing Bryce Harper of a home run right in the 1st inning, then turning this into 2 stolen bases, and then a 3-run home run. Well, it has been an amazing home opener for Mookie Betts.
Kind of set the tone, didn't he?
Yep.
For the rest of the afternoon.
Red Sox scoring early and often. Home run from Mookie in the 2nd inning, his 2nd home run of the year. He went around and is down 0-2. Are you a cotton candy fan?
Not really, no, Don.
No.
But I suggest it for everybody that comes to the ballpark.
Strike 3. Betts, he goes around, and that wraps up the 7th inning. It's 9-3. Red Sox have the lead. Now, movie maker from Sacred Heart gained rare on-ice access to one of the hottest NHL rookies, Johnny Gaudreau. Plus, see if a director from Curry College can stand above the rest with a story you don't see every day on TV. Catch it all on Nesson's Next Producer, the show where 10 filmmakers compete for $20,000 and a job at Nesson. Tonight at 7 p.m. Danny Espinosa leading it off here for the Washington Nationals. Has fly to left, grounded out to first base, 0 for 2. Rick Porcello with his 97th pitch, and it's fouled off to the left out of play. Don't miss Red Sox Game Day Live, presented by DCU, Digital Federal Credit Union, Monday at 5:30. TC and Tim Wakefield. Preview tomorrow's starters, Steven Strasburg and Justin Masterson. DCU, Digital Federal Credit Union. What can DCU save you? Xavier Cedeno up in the pen now for the Nationals. I'll remind you tomorrow night, early start times in April. A 6:10 start time here from Fenway Park tomorrow night. We have to remember that too, Jerry.
I like those 6 o'clock starts.
I
mean, it doesn't mess your day up at all, and it really makes a big difference heading home at night. Unless you go 19 innings.
That can get in the way. Foul back. Really was a long weekend for the Red Sox, as you have that quick turnaround Friday to Saturday with the day game, and then you get the Sunday night game followed by a home opener day game the next day. So
yeah, very late arrival last night, and back early to the ballpark today. It was optional hitting for the Red Sox in the cage.
Two pitch, and it's fouled back and out of play. MLB.TV Premium, the #1 live streaming sports service, is celebrating 13 years. Watch every out-of-market game live or on demand in True HD and over 400 mobile and connected devices. Every night on every device. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV for details. Junichi Tozawa warming in the Boston pen. The first action we've seen out there today. Driven to right. Victorino headed a full sprint back. That's going to be over his head and gone into the bullpen. Home run for Danny Espinosa, the #9 man, his first of the year. And Porcello has surrendered his second home run of the day. It is now 9-4, Boston on top.
That looked like it might have been a curveball that time from Porcello. And Espinosa doing a very nice job staying back on it. Yeah, it was the curveball. This is more like summer action today, the way the wind's blowing today out toward center field, and it's a good day to hit, really, for this time of year especially.
So Danny Espinosa, the wind howling out there to center field into the outfield. Michael Taylor takes the strike, 1-1. 0 for 3 from his top spot in the order for the Nationals. A strikeout, a flyout, and a foul out. Don't miss Red Sox first pitch, presented by Joseph Abboud, available at Men's Warehouse tomorrow at 5 p.m. TC and Tim Wakefield will talk Justin Masterson's return to Fenway Park. So third base, Sandoval plays it to the side. Throw is low, but again, Napoli to the task. One out of the inning as we check back in with Al.
Yeah, Don, you and Jerry were just talking about the wind in the outfield. Hanley Ramirez not only having to contend with that, but also getting his first taste of playing the wall here at Fenway. He and outfield coach Arnie Baylor actually took some fly balls. As you see, got a little work in at about 12:30 today. I asked Arnie afterwards how he felt about Hanley and if he thought he was ready, and he said, look, he's a vet. He said, honestly, repetition's key. Me doing this with him isn't going to make huge strides for him, but what what he's essentially told Hanley is it's like playing shortstop, just a little bit farther back with some more fly balls. As far as Jim Rice goes, well, I asked him about the key to playing the wall. He did it so well for so many years. He said, really, it's communication with your center fielder. You've got to talk. So far, Don and Jerry, he hasn't been tested too much out there, which I'm sure that Rick Porcello is probably pretty happy about.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see where he plays. Right now, he is fairly deeply situated out there in left field. For years, Jerry, we watched Manny Ramirez relatively shallow as to center Betts there to make the catch. Interesting to see where Hanley Ramirez plays from a defensive standpoint.
Yeah, I think the more comfort that he gets out in left field will determine where eventually he's going to set up. And you got to remember too that he did have the advantage of having the wall in spring training, but it's a different wall. It has some netting on it, you know, where this obviously at Fenway does not. So it is a little bit different than what he experienced in spring training, but it just takes time.
Bryce Harper, the batter, rolls it over foul.
Manny
He was almost a shortstop.
Manny came in so close for a while. He was almost like 15 feet behind the shortstop. And pitchers would look out there and go, "What are you doing?"
He really fell in love with throwing people out in different places too. He loved that. A bunch of outfield assists at 1 year. You'll never forget the cutoff out in left center field.
That's one of the highlights of my broadcasting career was that play.
One of the greatest catches I've ever seen.
It was unbelievable. It's the best play he made all year.
The 0-2 is a swing and a miss. Sixth strikeout for Rick Porcello. He is through 8 with a 9-4 lead. Airlines, book your low fare on Southwest.com. Uno's committed to the craft of pizza since 1943. Digital Federal Credit Union, what can DCU save you? The new all-new Kia Sorento. Visit NewEnglandKiaDealers.com to learn more. Sullivan Tire and Auto Service, thank you New England for 60 great years. And by the Scion TC. Dustin Pedroia, the recipient of ball 1 from the new pitcher, Xavier Cedeno, with the Red Sox on top 9-4 as we play into the bottom of the 8th inning. 2, 3, and 4 for the Red Sox as Pedroia takes the strike. Cedeno becomes the 4th arm used by Matt Williams and the Nationals. His 5th appearance of the year. 9.00 earned run average. Pedroia's got a hit and an RBI in this game. Outside for ball 3. Ball 4, and Pedroia with a leadoff walk here in the 8th inning. Time now for the Geico Red Sox moment. All season long, Geico will highlight the 1975 Red Sox in honor of their 40th anniversary. In their 7th game of the 75 season, the Sox beat the Yankees 4-2. Rick Wise pitched a complete game for his first win of the season, and Fred Lynn went 3 for 4 and a hit the first 2 home runs of his career. Alan Craig pinch hitting for David Ortiz here in the 8th. And Craig takes strike 1. David had homered in the 6th inning in his last at bat. Second home run of the year. 2 for 4 day for Big Papi with a couple of RBIs. Craig pinch hitting here in the 8th. Oh for 5 in the series at New York. And he offered at that. 0-2.
Pretty good slide at that time by Cedeno, going down and in around the ankles of Alan Craig, but crossing the plate in the strike zone.
Broken bat. One hopper that's picked by Espinosa. He will go to second base to get lead runner in Pedroia. For the first out here of the 8th. So Craig reaching on the fielder's choice.
If he goes to first base with this, they probably got a double play. There's the broken bat by Craig, and it's one hopped out to Espinosa. Now, if he goes back to first base, they get Craig, then they got Pedroia caught in a rundown.
One out, one on. Hanley Ramirez coming up. Grounded into a fielder's choice, hit by a pitch. Fouled out and walked. Does not have a hit today of the 13 compiled by the Red Sox. In fact, only Hanley Ramirez and Shane Victorino without hits today of the starting 9. Otherwise, the Red Sox with 9 runs on 13 hits. Ramirez with a swing and a miss as the catcher Lobato doesn't know where it is. Craig heading for second, and he will get there. So Alan Craig didn't leave right away, but then took off and still got to second base in time.
Now, once he saw that Lobaton, the catcher couldn't find the baseball. He's looking up in the air, and the ball's right near Hanley Ramirez. Well, that's when Craig realized he can take off, even though he was going back to the bag, and still make it with no problem.
Alan Craig at second base with 1 out of the inning, and got a 1-2 to Hanley Ramirez. Time call. Catcher Lobaton was going through the signs, and I think Cedeno forgot there was somebody at second base. One-two pitch. That is down and in. 2-2. The Red Sox and the Yankees wrapping up their series last night at Yankee Stadium, and the Yankees headed on the road as well last night, although they were not playing day baseball. They played a night. Camden Yards in Baltimore. Pablo Sandoval on deck. Red Sox batting here in the 8th with one out, and Alan Craig at second base. And Ramirez fouls it off himself, and that hurt.
Right off the top of the right foot, it looked like for Hanley Ramirez. Breaking ball down and in, hits on top of it. And Ramirez in a little bit of pain right now. Right off that right foot.
Masai Takahashi, the trainer, out there checking on him along with John Farrell. Hanley going to stay in the game here as he hobbles his way back to home plate. Still favoring it. But umpire Manny Gonzalez giving him a little extra time as Hanley Ramirez climbs back in again. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out here in the 8th. Bouncing in and away from Lobaton. So Alan Craig takes third base. This time he did break right away. 90 feet away with 1 down.
This really has been kind of a sloppy afternoon for the Washington Nationals. Another ball that bounces straight up in the air again. Lobaton can't find it right away, and Craig moves up another bag to third. A couple of plays in the outfield that did not go as errors, but certainly balls that could have been handled.
Infield in all the way around now for the Nationals. In the dirt, and that's ball 4. Hanley Ramirez will make his way down to first base. Second walk of this inning given up by Cedeno. And the 5th of the game for the Nationals. Now, for every Red Sox game that goes into extra innings or the Sox get a save, CVS Pharmacy will make a donation to Boston Children's Hospital towards a $25,000 commitment once again this season. CVS Pharmacy, the official pharmacy of the Boston Red Sox. Hanley Ramirez is going to come out of this game as pinch running be Daniel Nava. And still hobbled as he makes his way down to first base, and he comes out. Pablo Sandoval with runners at the corners and 1 out. Bouncing in and blocked by Lobaton.
Cedeno having a tough time keeping the ball out of the dirt. And Lobaton really having a battle back there this inning. Breaking ball again. It looks like it gets him right in the right arm. I think a little time taken here by Lobaton because he's in pain.
1-0 to Sandoval with Craig at third base, Nav at first. Pinch running. Lined and caught at second base by Espinosa. Timed his leap perfectly out there at second base. And robbed Sandoval of a base hit.
Yeah, broken bat by Sandoval, and it was not hit all that hard. It was on the line, but pretty soft. You can see it sinking right there. And that gave Espinosa, the second baseman, the opportunity to leap and make the catch.
So 2 outs, first and third, and Mike Napoli coming up. A base hit back in the third inning. 1 for 4 day on this opening day from Fenway Park. Framed by Lobaton, called a ball. Mike Napoli's had a very good day defensively and bailed out some of his infielders today. Some very good catchers, either in the dirt or headed up the line, but he's done a great job. Swing and a miss, 1-1.
Take a look at the Amica pit zone right here, and a little cut fastball on the inside part of the plate that Napoli's thinking about a home run.
Amica Insurance, great service, great coverage, and a great price for auto, home, or life insurance.
I'd have shortened that up a little, Don, but I didn't know you had to read.
If you could, just a little bit.
Because I really didn't say anything at all. Yeah. I mean, I had really nothing to say there when I said something.
It took a long time for you to say it.
I was trying to sound smart.
Speed it up.
Yeah.
I got to read that.
I didn't know you had to read.
Yeah.
My bad.
Rapid.
Whatever.
2 down, first and third. Napoli reaches out and strikes out to end the 8th inning. Headed to the 9th. It's 9-4 Boston. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. Opening day from Fenway Park, where today's game summary is brought to you by Xfinity. Well, Jordan Zimmerman chased from this game relatively early. 2 in the third innings, 9 hits, 7 runs, 7 earned runs, 8 runs, 7 earned runs. Espinosa 1 for 3 with a home run, but Rick Porcello goes the first 8 for Boston. 1 a day from Mookie Betts, 2 for 4 with a 3-run home run, a couple of stolen bases, and a great catch in center. David Ortiz has secured his 2nd home run of the year. As we head to the 9th, Reed Johnson leading it off against the new Red Sox pitcher. Junichi Tazawa in for the 9th. 3rd appearance, not giving up a run in his first 2 innings of work. Strikeout, no walks, and opponents hitting at 167 in the early going. Reed Johnson took over for Jason Worth in left field and bats for the first time.
I know it's late, but I want to send out happy birthday wishes to Betty Hogan, celebrating her birthday today. So sorry it took so long, but happy birthday.
Fouled off into the seats. Reed Johnson, a veteran of 12 major league seasons, signed with Washington as a non-roster invitee. Red Sox also with a defensive change. Nava, who pinch ran for Hanley Ramirez, takes over for him in left field defensively. 1-2 pitch. Tazawa threw a scoreless 8th inning Friday night in New York. Giving up a hit, had a strikeout. But all Red Sox pitchers a year ago, 71 games. 2nd straight year that he has appeared in 71 games out of the Red Sox pen. Ball 3, full count. Johnson will be followed by Ryan Zimmerman, and Clint Robinson scheduled to bat in the Washington 9th inning. Swing and a miss. Foul tipped into the catcher's mitt of Leon for the first out of the 9th inning. Let's take a look at the Toyota play of the game. Number in front of the plate that Leon has to play, and fires it down to first base, and amazingly picked by Napoli, who's been up to the task a few times today. But this one was a seed thrown at him. Able to handle it.
That was a very difficult play for Napoli. He's had a couple of them, as you mentioned, Don, today, where he kind of makes them look easy, but they're not easy plays at all. And as I said earlier in the ball game, the infielders really appreciate that.
One of the bright spots today for the Nationals, Ryan Zimmerman got his 2nd home run of the year. Solo shot to center field to open up the 5th inning. One of 2 home runs allowed today by Rick Porcello, who ends up going 8 innings, 4 hits, 4 runs. He walked a batter and struck out 6 in line for his first win in a Red Sox uniform.
A nice job today by Porcello.
A little trouble in the 5th. Home run and a triple, back-to-back hitters, Zimmerman and the man on deck, Clint Robinson. Let's settle down after that. Tazawa's 1-1. Yeah, swing and a miss, 1-2.
Another good split by Tazawa. Has a good one in this ball game so far. Both have been down. Both have been out of the strike zone. It's that late movement down, and that's what fools hitters.
2-2 pitch. And bouncing in, full count. Nine runs, 13 hits, 2 errors for the Red Sox. 4 runs, 4 hits, and an error for Washington. Game 1 of a 3-game series tomorrow night. Justin Masterson, Steven Strasburg. Battle of right-handers. 6:10 the first pitch tomorrow night. And Wade Miley and Gio Gonzalez on Wednesday. Fouled off at the plate. Still 3-2. It gets a piece of Leon. Steven Strasburg losing his first outing of the year. Fly ball foul off to the right out of play. Stay tuned tonight following WB Mason. Extra Innings Live for Red Sox Final presented by Uno's. TC Jim Rice, Tim Wakefield of the special Pablo Sandoval All Access segment. Plus highlights from around the majors. Tazawa battling Ryan Zimmerman with 1 out here in the 9th inning. 8th pitch of the at bat coming up. And another foul off to the right out of play.
And Tazawa with 14 pitches in this inning, only the 1 out. Zimmerman making him work very hard here in the second batter of the inning.
Up and in, ball 4, and Zimmerman goes down, and he'll go to first base. So 1 out walk here in the 9th inning. And Peter Frady's part of the pregame ceremony, and Ben Cherington signing him to a lifetime contract today by the Red Sox. That's all the Red Sox wearing the number 3 in a spring training game earlier this year. And it is official today as part of the pregame ceremony. And the jersey hanging in the Red Sox dugout. One out, 1 on, and Clint Robinson the batter. This one fouled off to the left out of play. Robinson with a triple in the 5th inning. Fouled at the dish, 0-2.
The change out in the bullpen as Coach Uehara was activated before the game today, and Tommy Lane sent back to the minor leagues because he had options. We'll certainly see him again before the season's over. But Koji back as closer for the Red Sox.
Does not appear to be needed today as Tazawa trying to work through this 9th inning and wrap it up. He's got 1 out in the 9th with the runner at first base, a 5-run Red Sox lead. And Robinson fouls it off to the left out of play. 94 on the fastball from Tazawa. Bouncing in 1-2. And Zimmerman at first base, not held on by Napoli. 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Foul tipped into Leon's mitt. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Tazawa. 2 down in the 9th.
And both strikeouts for Tazawa on the same pitch. A split-fingered fastball. This time again going down and away from the left-hander Robertson. He's bounced a couple of them, but he's had a couple of very good ones also that's got swing and miss.
2 down for Ian Desmond. 0 for 3 in the game. Has grounded out, lined out, and grounded out again. Fouls it off for a strike 1. The 0-1 pitch. Strike 2. Fastball at 94 miles an hour.
Up high with that fastball. Let's see if he goes back to the split. Back down.
Fenway Park stands as one with 2 down and 2 strikes on the batter in the 9th.
Another high fastball.
High and away, 1-2. On the ground, foul. And we'll do it again. Tazawa about to throw his 25th pitch of this inning. With 2 outs in the 9th and a runner at first. He struck him out and the Red Sox win. The home opener is complete and the Red Sox win it 9-4. Beautiful day at Fenway Park, and Tazawa ends up striking out the side in the 9th inning. What a day for Mookie Betts, all part of a Red Sox 9-4 victory as they take game 1 of this 3-game series against the Washington Nationals. Again, the final 9-4 as we send it to Tom Caron.